Good morning.
Good morning.
This morning's gospel reading is from Matthew chapter 2, verses 1 through 12. And if you would like to read, you may do so and find it on pages 1138 and 1139 in the Bible in front of you. The wise men. When Jesus was born in the village of Bethlehem in Judea, Herod was king. During this time, some wise men from the east came to Jerusalem and said, "Where is the child born to be the King of the Jews? We saw his star in the east and have come to worship him." When King Herod heard about this, he was worried, and so was everyone else in Jerusalem. Herod brought together the chief priests and the teachers of the law of Moses and asked them, "Where will the Messiah be born?" They told him, "He will be born in Bethlehem, just as the prophet wrote. Bethlehem in the land of Judea, you are very important among the towns of Judea. From your town will come a leader who will be like a shepherd for my people Israel." Herod secretly called in the wise men and asked them when they had first seen the star. He told them, "Go to Bethlehem and search carefully for the child. As soon as you find him, let me know. I want to go and worship him too." The wise men listened to what the king said and then left. And the star they had seen in the east went on ahead of them until it stopped over the place where the child was. They were thrilled and excited to see the star. When the men went into the house and saw the child with Mary, his mother, they knelt down and worshipped him. They took out their gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh and gave them to him. Later they were warned in a dream not to return to Herod, and they went back home by another road.
We're celebrating this Sunday as Epiphany Sunday, but it isn't quite Epiphany yet. Epiphany is on January the 6th. It will have passed by next Sunday, so we're doing it this Sunday. Epiphany refers to the light, the aha experiences that we have. Have you ever heard the words, "I just had an epiphany"? It's like, oh yeah, I never thought of that before. And that's sort of the story of the three wise men. Now I want you to think about this. Here are these fellows coming from the east, knowing the story that a king will be born and that we will see his star in the sky. And they go to King Herod because they're going to Jerusalem first. And he, of course, was not a very honest person. Didn't want to have any competition. So when they tell him what they're doing, he says to them, fraudulently of course, "Oh, well, when you go there and see him, come back to me, and I want to come and worship him too." But is that what he really wanted?
No.
No. He wanted to get rid of any competition that he might have. Now, these fellows didn't know Herod, but they knew dreams. They knew visions. And after they had met the child and given the gifts, in a dream it tells us that they were told to go another way home. So they didn't go back to Jerusalem and see Herod. So Herod really wouldn't have known exactly where this child was. I want you to think in your own life of where you've had dreams or visions and something told you either to do something or not to do something. You ever had that happen to you?
Yes.
Or you had a real strong feeling, like a gut level feeling? You know, we need to pay attention to them because they are guides. Just recently I heard a story, and it's a real positive story, a happy story of a woman from Iowa. Anybody know why this woman from Iowa would be very happy? Well, not at the end of the game. Any of you that are following the Rose Bowl know that Stanford kind of beat Iowa. Yeah.
They slaughtered.
But it was a big deal for the people in Iowa because they hadn't been here to the Rose Bowl for a long, long time. And this is a story that I heard on television of a woman who had a very, very meager income. She was living on her Social Security. And she always had dreamed, like on a bucket list, of going to the Rose Bowl. She had never gone. And normally she wouldn't be able to afford it. But because Iowa was going to the bowl, she had some friends that decided they were going to drive out here. And she would help them with the gas and everything. And she got to go to the Rose Parade and the Rose Bowl for the first time in her life. She was so thrilled. And the way she explained it is that I had a dream. And my dream was fulfilled. I've also had dreams of things that warn me that I should or shouldn't do something. Have you ever had traffic dreams? You know what I'm talking about, a traffic dream? Where it tells you, don't go the normal way you're going, go somewhere else. I just had one recently. I usually leave my home, go on Live Oak, get on the 605 freeway, get off on Ramona, and then go to my school. Something said, don't go the regular way. Why don't you go down Peck Road and then get to Ramona? And I'm thinking, why would I do that? But it was such a strong, listen lady, listen. Okay. So I'm driving down Peck Road. I turn on my radio, and it was just coming on then that there was an overturned truck, and it was all backed up to the 210 freeway both ways for people trying to get on the 605. Had I gone my regular way, I may have been 2 hours late to school. It was one of those, I call them the traffic dreams. I've had a number of those. I think the strongest dream I've ever had was the dream to go to seminary. Now I fought it. Oh, I put up a good fight. I had all the rational arguments. I was teaching in Anaheim at the time, working with emotionally disturbed children. That's a good reason to want to go to seminary, right there. But it was like this, you've got to go. You've got to, come on. I'm at the top of the pay scale. I've already gone to school for so many years. I wouldn't want to go back. There's the expense and all that work and all that writing. Who likes to write, you know, term papers? Nobody likes to do that, right? And, I mean, this is crazy. So I just sort of fought it. And then there was like this voice, you've got to go to seminary. No, it's too expensive, too much work. I don't live near any place. And so I had a psychologist that worked with my students. And I had inquired about some seminaries, and they were too expensive. It would take me 10 years to get out of there because they didn't have the courses I would want. And he just happened to be on the board for the School of Psychology at Fuller. And so I said something to him. I said, I've had this thing that I need to go to seminary. And he goes, oh, you have to go to Fuller. I go, really? Where's Fuller? In Pasadena. I thought, I don't live anywhere near Pasadena. He goes, yeah. He said, fill out your application and I will give you a letter of recommendation. And I thought, a letter of recommendation from someone on a board counts for something, right? So, filled out my application, sent it in. He and a few other people gave me recommendations, and I was shocked they accepted me. And at that time, I was a member of a denomination that wouldn't even be considered Christian. And they still accepted me. They took a chance on me. I couldn't believe it. I was so shocked. And it was there where I met Jesus for the first time. And oh, am I glad. What a difference it has made in my life. I've talked to several other people who've shared their dreams, who's had visions, who have felt the presence it's like an angel speaking to you, a messenger saying, come on, you can do it. Any of you have bucket lists, those of you who are older? Any bucket lists of things you want to do? Dream your dreams and fulfill your dreams. I have a person that's worked with me off and on in my classroom who comes from Nigeria. And she actually came from a middle-income family. In fact, she was a movie star over there.
Wow.
Both she and her sister. They were doing just fine. But there was this dream, this vision of coming over here. And what made it happen is that she met a young man who happened to take a fond liking to her and said, why don't you join me? He was visiting his family in Nigeria, and he lived here in the United States and was a teacher. And so she fulfilled her dream of coming over here and married the teacher, and now the rest is history. And they're very happy, and I'm happy to have her. Anytime I need a substitute, she's the best. Think about your dreams. Think about all of those things that you would like to do, things that you've been told to do. Don't poo-poo it. Don't say, oh no, that's ridiculous. Nothing is ridiculous. Open yourself up to your dreams, and may your dreams come true.
Amen.
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 Are we ready for